It's time for spelling analysis, and today we have 8 new words. Are you ready? I am. All right, the first word is title. What is the title of the book you are reading? Title. Go ahead and say title. Good. How many syllables in title? 2. We will say to spell title. What will we say to spell? Title. All right, the first syllable is tie. Let's sound it out. T-I. This is an I-E-Y. The second syllable is tul. T-ul. That's right, silent final E. You've got it. Go ahead and write title. Good job sounding it out as you write it. That's so important. Now, sound it out for me to write it. The first syllable is tie, T-I. The second syllable is tul, T-ul. Hey, what did I forget? You're right, I forgot the silent final E. And why do I need an E? Every syllable must have a written vowel. So it's there to be the vowel in the syllable. We'll put a line over the I, you're right. Why will we do that? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Hey, did I say I? I didn't. You're right. What is the new rule we've learned? I and Y may say I or I at the end of the syllable. Very good. You've got this. Remember that I and Y follow a different rule than the other single letter vowels. The next word is friend. Hannah is my best friend. Friend. Now, before we spell this word, I want to show you this phonogram. What does this say? It says E. That's right. It's the E of field. Something that's unusual about the word friend is it uses this phonogram. But what do you hear as the vowel in friend? You're right. It's saying eh. In fact, friend is the only word in all of English where this says eh. So let's sound it out and then we will write it and talk about it. So friend, eh, which you'll spell like this, d. Got it? Go ahead and write friend using this and then we will talk. Good, help me to write it. D. All right, we're going to underline this E, but it's E. How are we going to remember this? Well, there's a few ways. First of all, this is an exception to the spelling rules. So you could remember it by saying to spell friend, if that's helpful for you, as we do with some of the other say to spells. Some people like to put a little smiley or a breve over it, which looks like a smile, and go, this I and E are working together to say the short sound eh. If that's helpful to you, you could mark it as a short eh sound. So there are different ways you can remember it. One of the ways I remember it, and maybe this was just helpful to me, is that friend ends in end. So you can see that the word end is there. And then I just try to remember that it's the E of field. So this is an exception word in English. There are a few of those, but as you've been learning, most of the words follow the rules really well. Let's read this one. Friend. The next word is something. There is something on our doorstep. Maybe it's a package. Something. Go ahead and say something. How many syllables in something? 2. We will say to spell something. What will we say to spell? Something. All right, the first syllable is som. Silent final E. The second syllable is thing. Go ahead and write something. Sound it out as you write it. Very good. Now help me write it. The first syllable is som. silent final E. The second syllable is thing. And how will we mark it? All right, we'll underline the th and the and we'll double underline the silent final E. By the way, do you see two words in this? You're right, it's the word some and the word thing. Those are both words, and then when we put them together, it makes a compound word, something. So why is the O saying it's lazy sound here? O may say before a W, TH, M, and our V. So look at, here it is next to an M. So that's why it's saying it's lazy sound. All right, the next word is family. We have a big family. Go ahead and say family. How many syllables in family? 3. Very good. We will say to spell fam-i-ly. What will we say to spell? Fam-i-ly. Very good. The first syllable is fam. F-a-m. The second syllable is I. This is an I-E, yeah. The third syllable is li, ul-e. You're right, it's a ya, I-E. Very good. Go ahead and write fam-i-ly. Good. I'm glad you're sounding it out. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is fam. A-m. The second syllable is I. The third syllable is li, ul-e. So how will we mark it? What sound of ya, I-E is this? You're right, it's the fourth. And why? Why says it's long, or says the sound E only at the end of a multi-syllable word. So there it is, at the end of a multi-syllable word saying E. What do you notice about this I in family? You're right, it's at the end of the syllable, and yet it's saying it's short sound. Why is that? I and Y may say I or I at the end of a syllable. Do you see the other word in this list where I is saying it's long sound? There it is. You're right. So we need to remember that I and Y follow a different rule. The next word is soup. I think I'll have soup for lunch. Soup. Go ahead and say soup. Let's sound it out. S-oo. Use an ow, o, oo, p. Got it? All right, go ahead and write soup. Good. Now help me to write it. S-oo, p. And how will we mark it? You're right, we'll underline the oo. What sound of ow, o, oo, is this? You're right, it's the third. All right, let's read it. S-oop, soup. The next word is waited. I waited in line a long time. Waited. Go ahead and say waited. Good. How many syllables in waited? 2. We will say to spell wait, ed. What will we say to spell? Wait, ed. Good. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is wait. What? A. 2-letter A that you may not use at the end of English words. T. The second syllable is ed. Got it? Go ahead and write waited. Excellent. Help me to write it. W-a-t, ed. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the A and we'll underline the ed. Let's read it. W-a-t, ed. Waited. Very good. The next word is flew. The bird flew across the sky. Flew. Go ahead and say flew. Let's sound it out. F-oo. This is an oo-u. Got it? All right, go ahead and write flew. And help me write it. F-oo. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the oo. And what sound of oo-u is this? It's right, it's the first one. Let's read it. F-oo, flew. The last word is goodness. Goodness, it's been a long time since I saw her. Goodness. All right, go ahead and say goodness. All right, How many syllables in goodness? 2. We will say to spell goodness. What will we say to spell? Goodness. All right, the first syllable is good. G, This is an o, d. The second syllable is ness. N, s, s. You've got it. Go ahead and write goodness. Excellent. Now help me to write it. G, d, n, s, s. How will we mark it? Well, underline the What sound of o is this? Excellent. It's the second. And why did we double double the s? You're right. We often double F, L, and S after a single vowel. There's the single vowel at the end of a base word or at the end of a word. So there it is at the end of the word. Do you see another word in goodness? Yeah, the word good. That's how you spell good. And then we added the suffix ness to make goodness. Great work today. You've got some good words that you're learning.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at foundations.logicoфenglish.com.